it is more likely that the variety of foods consumed was very much seasonal. On the other hand, many a church father did in fact develop intestinal problems while fasting and suffered for much of their lives. For example, famously, St. John Chrysostom. Wine. No discussion of fasting can avoid the issue of wine, a topic of much interest to many, including to the editors of the Typikon, who devoted a rather large passage to its consumption. We will offer a translation of some portions of the text, but it is necessary to mention that the restriction of wine on certain days has nothing at all to do with whether it is vegan or not. Just as is the case with olive oil, wine is perfectly vegan, and as we discussed above, raisins and olives are consumed even on the days of Xerophagy. Moreover, while the Typikon is well aware of the effects of alcohol on an occasional hapless monk, it may not be the alcohol per se that restricts the use of wine. Various low-alcohol drinks, such as small beers and kvasses, including mead, are a historically traditional staple in the diet of both the laity and the monastics, including during fasting periods, even in the first week of Great Lent. See Chapter 32 of the Typikon regarding fasting on Tuesday of the first week. Compare to the mention of kvass, whether honey or grain, in a note in the Lenten Triodion for Great and Holy Saturday of Passion Week. This is a very large topic, which will be explored in more detail in a future post, but it may not be a coincidence that wine and oil are either allowed or prescribed together for the purpose of fasting, and also happen to be consecrated together and distributed to the faithful at the laity or litia for a feast day. Thus, the prescription against wine and oil on certain days may not be purely dietary in nature. For if it were about ethanol or fatty acids, then small beers, kvasses, nuts, avocados, and tahini would also be prescribed. But then, how would Greek monks dress their salads?